Yep.
Kirby, make the intro Jump Up Super Guy.
Huh?
You ever heard it?
No.
How have you not heard the hit single Jump Up Super Guy?
It's a good song I made, dude.
Don't sound it. Don't sound it.
It's
I don't
Super
think you're
with
giving it
two
a fair
O's.
chance. It's my great cover of the Jump Up Superstar, man. It's a good song.
Oh, it's supposed to...
I did the vocals. It's great.
Raise us to
What the hell is that? Maybe I will use that for the intro. I've got nothing better to do.
Let's read JB5 Guy shit as the intro. Hello, I'm locked out of Crumpet casting voice. What?
JV5 speak.
Eyes.
Oh, hi.
Take the restrictions off and I will.
What restrictions?
Same. Anyways, take the restrictions off. I fucking hate the fact I'm only listening GTO part of the conversation on a movie I just wasted time watching. I'm about to leave you suckers. You all jive turkey.
You can't be saying that, man.
I can say what I want, fool. Euphoria, shut the fuck up. I know that was you. I even got a look. I should send your ass back to Crenshaw Pete with this hot-ass coat hangers, bitch. Would you like that? Euphoria shakes her head in fear and walks away. There is a long silence between Black Dynamite and Gloria. Crumpet casting is a waste of my life if I can't be included in it.
Yo, this is a JV5 Guy outro.
Shut the fuck up, Kirby. I can't be bothered. It's annoying when I'm trying to legitimately change as a person and get mistreated like this. Oh, you can watch a movie with us, but you're not invited to the after party. It's annoying.
JV5 Guy, what are you on about?
And that beautiful piece was the conclusion to the first Crumpet casting movie night in which we watched a film because we had nothing best to do with our lives. So we watched the film Black Dynamite, highly recommend it. And JV5 Guy joined us in, then we bullied him out of the voice at the end of the film, and he decided he was trying to legitimately change as a person?
Legitimately.
Sorry, legitimately to change as a person. I don't know what that means. It doesn't really mean anything, but we kind of pulled it out of nowhere. Maybe we hit him at a tough time in his exciting YouTube career, but maybe we'll never know. And also strange and possibly not included intro to episode 6. It is now. Hello, everybody. We have Sirens with us today. Hello, Sirens.
Hi, what's up? I don't know why I'm here.
Because you have the exciting position of being officially the only person on the earth who plays this game.
Yay, that's me.
How does that make you feel?
I'm pretty sad. I like the game personally a lot. It sucks to see the community dying like this.
But why? Why is the community dying? Someone explain. Someone talk other than me.
It's a shit-ass game, that's why.
Yeah, Shrek SuperSlam has been in his hardest lull period yet, rivaling that of before the big burst in August 2016.
Yeah.
It's just, there's no activity, no tournaments. All the top players are quitting. Everyone's like, fuck this game. The meta is stale. It doesn't look like there's a lot that can go on in terms of revolutions. There's really just not a lot going on, which is unfortunate, but at the end of the day, competitive scenes come to this, and with Shrek being mostly figured out and having a huge problem in terms of camping, then, it's going to come to it eventually, and it just has come, so there's not as much to say about it.
Well, yeah, so Sirens, as a rebuttal to this, why do you want to still keep playing it if what Squee says is true and it's been figured out, and what it is just incredibly boring?
Personally, I really love this game because of the quick movement, quick inputs, and being able to get a lot off grabs. I played Donkey Kong and Melee purely because I like getting a lot off of grabs.
But you don't play Ice Climbers? Ice Climbers get a lot off
That's because that requires more skill. I suck at Ice Climbers.
I play Ice Climbers, and I can tell you they do not require skill.
It feels like it does. I'm bad.
It's just RNG. You gotta hope that Nana does good things while you're not there, and then claim it as pure skill. This is how I've played Melee since 2014, and I'd do it again.
Trevor, you could have wobbled, could you? You just did shit.
There was a period I could wobble when I first started playing. I learned. Then I kind of stopped playing, and then when I got back to it, it became a meme among the new wave of Warwick Smashers that I couldn't hold a wobble. And yeah, I struggle to keep them going for more than about 100%. Sometimes it's as low as 30, sometimes I can get it infinite, but a lot of the time I drop the wobble, averaging it about 100%. I call it fair and balanced. I think it's a balanced wobble. Really, I'm not unskilled. Basically, I don't actually press a 200 BPM, I kind of just mash it. Almost everyone I've spoken to is like, yeah, you do it way too quick. But I ain't learning it. Dead game, to be honest.
Dead game. I agree. Fuck that game.
Do you dislike it more or less than Shrek?
I just say fuck Melee as the meme. I'm just not interested in the competitive scene of Melee anymore. Fuck Shrek, to be quite fair. I hate that game. I don't like playing Shrek anymore. However, I could just sit back and play Melee a few times. Not really competitively, just casually. Still a fun game if you take it into that regard. At least for me.
Smash Brothers is bad.
Just in general.
This is true.
We're just going to throw that out
Play Shrek.
I mean, I don't really like the scene. I once made a guy cry for like 2 hours after I beat him. I vowed.
What?
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry, elaborate.
So, at my school, Kennesaw, where like Moth started the Shrek scene and stuff.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of people who were really into Melee, and I started getting pretty good at the game. I mean, not great, but I started like beating people without using any tech because I didn't want to bother to learn wave dashing because I didn't want arthritis or anything. So I just did like a bunch of hard reads and stuff, and I was starting to beat people consistently who were like really good and playing for like 2 years. And one guy's like, I can't believe I'm losing to you. I shouldn't be losing. Like you're doing the most predictable things with your smash attacks and stuff, and I don't understand why I keep getting hit. And then the icing on the cake though was there's this guy I fought. He played like Falco or Fox or something, and he was really good, and he had like good tech skill and stuff. But I beat him 20 times in a row. Then after he unplugs his controller, sits in the corner, and literally just puts his head down and like cries. And I'm like, oh man, this is no good. So I left to go get dinner. And when I come back 2 hours later, he still is there in the corner with his head down.
What?
Mad cause bad. Mad cause bad.
Oh.
And so I was just done. I was like, I don't want to play Melee anymore. And it turns out that I was ahead of my time because the next semester at KSU, everyone just stops playing and they realize that like it's not really worth it. Like people are getting a bit too obsessed with like the game, and everyone just started picking up fighting games after that.
Have they considered picking up Shrek?
Stop.
I think Moth scared them all away.
How would he manage to do that?
Dude, just spam projectiles and they think they have the perfect shield, but they can't.
Can't power shield on net play, man. It's not possible.
Not on Netplay, man. Well, we asked Sirens what she still likes about the game. Personally, I still like the game as the community. I can't say that I like the game anymore at all. It's just gotten too stale, the meta too bad. But I will say, if anything, the game was still worth it because it got everybody in the community connected. It was something to bring it together, all you guys, and it was great. Thank you guys. I love you guys.
No.
Boy, do you have anything to add?
Well, I wouldn't have met you guys. I wouldn't have been able to say that I'm one of the best Shrek players in the world to everyone I meet, so that's cool. And Mr. Casual, I wouldn't have encountered him.
The server has just become a dedicated casual observatory.
The server just lives in the shit posting channel now. Like, it's just Mr. Casual talking about his dumbass opinions and then people ganging up on him. That's all it is.
Oh man, today, I think it was, I opened the Discord and he just, I'm sure I can find it now, yeah, he just posts pictures and then talks about them to himself. It's so weird. I swear I don't remember him doing this. I swear when he first came, and we all laughed at him, he would at least kind of engage in a conversation. He literally will just find videos or pictures, post them, and it's the kind of weird stuff where you think, like, who is this for?
To top it all off, he's the edgiest motherfucker I've ever met.
Oh my god, some of his opinions are great. He's truly an edgelord.
Dude, he keeps talking about how he's like a villain and how he hates cripples and how he wants them to die.
Oh my god, yeah. And then to top it all off, he stacks a shelf in a supermarket, but then he got demoted. Which is like far, far worse than many of the people who's complaining about. The pinnacle.
I like how he's saying that, like, Stephen Hawking, one of the most intelligent people in the world, is irrelevant because he had, like, mental disabilities. However, his greatness of being demoted by stocking shelves far surpasses the genius that is Stephen Hawking.
Truly. He is the wisest. According to Casual, the greatest pinnacle of human achievement is creating a Mugen OC that he likes. Which I will admit is a very special task if you've managed to do that.
Wait, has he actually said that?
No, but he earlier today or yesterday he was saying he has no interest in speedrunning, but people who program like Mugen characters are like very clever. Even though I've never programmed a Mugen character, so I can't say for sure. But
I've done it.
Yeah,
I did it when I was 8.
There you go. And you've also speedrun things, so I'm gonna guess. Yes. Are you gonna turn around now and say that speedrunning's harder?
I wonder.
Yeah,
Which one did I do? Which one?
Which one requires frame perfect text sometimes? Which one requires route optimization?
It's a close cut. I'll tell you that one.
Whereas which one requires whacking some values in and drawing some art and praying.
I went on Paint. I made a box. I made 2 little boxes for eyes. There you go. You got my character. He's a box. I combined the words test and boxer, and I got test boxer. So then you slap him in. What was it like? Fucking fight maker 3 or whatever. You add some characteristics. You add some frames. You move the box up and down. There you go. You got movement.
Mugen for next meta when a specific Mr. Casual Mugen build that he has personally directed, created everything, and then we have to make it a new competitive scene.
I wonder if I I do have this. I could send a screenshot of Test Boxer.
Test Boxer. I'll include him in the description.
You're gonna get fucked.
Why you always include in the description? Edit in some goddamn pictures, you lazy
Nope.
fuck.
Yeah, what the hell? No.
Firstly, no one watches a YouTube video, or at least I hope they don't. They'd be really stupid if they did. Secondly, I ain't the Vegas man. You're the Vegas man. I don't have a clue.
What do you mean you're not the Vegas man? You just drag a picture, drop it in. It can't be that hard.
It's not that hard.
I've legitimately looked it up before and given up because I couldn't be bothered. Right, just for you, I will drag the picture onto the video, and if it doesn't work, then I will cry. And if it does work, then I'll leave it.
I'll guide you through the 3 steps that you need to do.
Thank you, Mr. Video Editing Master. But
hey, that's Test Box.
Test Box. Wow, that is beautiful, Scotty. I also like how visually clean your Mugen is. I'm not gonna. It's not the best thing in the world. It still obviously looks like Mugen because.
Does Mr. Casual think you're a god yet?
Aren't those the starting default health and meter bars?
Yeah, maybe.
But if I can,
Mugen, I'll see you're God now, right?
I will also
I'll let
edit
you
in
keep
after that
suspended.
a picture of one of Casual's Mugens, which one of you guys will provide me. Because it just, I don't understand how I
Look at the casual bot.
Yeah, I will. That's where I'm getting the image in my head from. Because it just looks so visually weird. It's so much going on.
I love how when he says if he were ever in a fight, he'd call upon his 12 years of Mugen experience.
Has he actually said that?
Yeah, he said
12.
that. He said 12 years.
Has he said he's only been playing it for 6? That
He
guy's
said
debatable
12.
as fuck.
Have you told him that characters in real life have hurt boxes? Because that's what he does in Mugen. If he loses, he just plays. Well, he never loses because he turns the game off first. If you lose, but the game doesn't say you lose because you turned it off first, then you haven't lost. That's a casualism. But then if you are scared of losing, you just play a character with no hurt boxes, and it's not cheating. It's perfectly legitimate.
Yeah, the Mario only has hurt boxes when he's in an idle animation. It's perfectly fair.
Perfectly fair. Oh, what else? Oh, I think one of my top three casual discussions was when he was someone, I think it was Bone, was saying that he was too scared to fight someone in some game online. And Mr. Casual goes, but I already beat him. And so we're all like, oh, he actually did play this guy online and beat him. Maybe Casual isn't as bad as we thought. Then he says he defeated an AI of the dude's main.
Yeah.
Therefore, he
AI
won.
of Samus. And then he lost. He said he lost, didn't he?
Yeah. And other times he said that he's based like character matchups. I think there's a screenshot of him saying that Pac-Man beats Mario or something because he beat an AI, and then he said he couldn't remember what level it was.
I think he beat an AI of Dr. Mario, and he said that he could beat Mario. It's funny because I went online in ARNS, and I changed my name to Mr. Casual, and nobody knew who I was. And then people started talking about this Mr. Casual guy, and then one person, I swear I've heard this guy before, and he's like, "Oh my god, I know him!" And like, he went on to say everything about Mr. Casual. He's like, Mr. Casual, he was on the server, and he had like terrible opinions. He was on the Pac-Man Discord. That's what he said. And he would say like, Pac-Man wins the Mario matchup because I beat a Dr. Mario CPU. And like, this was actually said in ARMS, and I did not even mention Mr. Casual. Somebody already knew him.
We didn't even get to talk about the video I made.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I wanted to
Casual.
Yeah, it took a very roundabout way of discussing it. Okay, introduce your video. What did you make?
I made a video called. Wait, what is it called again?
Why are there no competitive arena fighters?
Yeah, there it is. Why are there no competitive arena fighters? And I basically went into a semi-in-depth view on why arena fighters aren't a competitive genre, at least at the moment, because a lot of games have been very shittily made. Into the video, I discussed how like you have too much free fluid movement in the arena fighters, such as Shrek, Tom and Jerry, Godzilla, and you can just run around in circles or camp higher ledges the whole entire time, and there's basically no way to counter against it. And then I went into games that did it better, like they had some features that could definitely be healthier for an arena fighter, which I think could also go into a good topic of Shrek's meta is obviously bad, but obviously
debatable. Questionable. Whoever is debatable is questionable. Anyway.
No.
Yeah, Shrek's meta has been really bad, and there are some arena fighters that we actually have found that have gotten some features that I'd say would go in the right direction. And I think some of those would be something like One Piece Grand Adventure or Power Stone, because both of those games have something where your movement is not entirely free. And while this is a restricting part of the movement, it also enforces a more healthy gameplay style, because you can't just infinitely run away. You have to approach your character if you're going to do one of the movement options. so it doesn't make you camp as easily. There's still some camping kind of things you can do in like something like One Piece Grand Adventure, not in Power Stone, because Power Stone is kind of boring. Everybody plays the fucking exact same. But in One Piece Grand Adventure, there's still zoning characters even without the fact that there's like, free fluid movement. There's no free fluid movement, but they're still able to have zoning characters because the character design, I think, is a lot better than most arena fighters. I'd say it has the best character design in terms of diversity out of any arena fighter I ever played. And I think if we're going to have a competitive arena fighter, looking at One Piece Grand Adventure would be the first step to make that better arena fighter. You could still have something like Shrek, where you get a lot of things off grabs and shit. But I think looking at One Piece Grand Adventure's like design choices in order to make like running away not as strong, I think that's what you'd have to look at first, not Shrek SuperSlam.
I was going to say that I personally don't enjoy the genre, and One Piece Grand Adventure is a lot more restricting in that sort of movement style. Because although you have a 3D environment, you can't really capitalize off of movement like you think you could. I don't think Shrek is a very good game, and I definitely don't enjoy that I can camp. But I think like the movement in that is obviously a lot nicer than One Piece Grand Adventure, which is basically moving towards, or I think you can move directly away, but it's at a lot slower rate. So I feel like if you could have a dash system in Shrek and then restrict vertical movement, you could possibly have a better meta with Shrek, but I feel like it would just take a lot of time and it wouldn't be worth it. Whereas with One Piece Grand Adventure is already pretty fair in terms of gameplay style and mechanics, but it just isn't as fun for me personally.
I don't remember what character I played with against Supervisor, but there was a character that could just dash in any direction. It was a charge-up move, so it took a little while to charge away, but I could dash in any direction.
The thing about dash attacks in One Piece Grand Adventure is they're usually laggy at the beginning or at the end, so they're usually super punishable because you can, the dash move, right, where you block and then do the dash attack.
Yeah.
You can act out of that at any frame during that dash, and it'll come out instantly. So, like, if you were to do one of the best characters who has a out of dash move, like Kuina, you do her dash into X, and that'll catch like any person trying to use their dash attack away because it's too laggy. She instantly dashes. She can instantly act out of it because you can act out of dash at any time, and you usually just get punished for trying to dash away at a wrong time. So it's not like there's definitely counterplay for a lot of things in that game. I think that's one thing it did really well is just like how punishable your movement options are. Like jumping away isn't as strong because there's upward attacks. You can attack up in the sky. There's anti-air attacks by holding the R button and pressing X. There's a lot of things to counter airplay. There's a lot of things to counter running away because you could just again dash towards your opponent, which is the best move option in the game, no doubt, and just hit them with something really fast. That's why I think it's a lot better than Shrek, at least from a healthy game design point, because there's a lot of counterplay to stuff, unlike in Shrek, where you could just sit on fucking Fat Boy's plate and have a good old fucking grand time of waiting until zero seconds are done. You know what I mean? Like good old Squeechy versus Mermaid. Everybody remembers that one. That's a good one.
And Squeechy versus Sirens, even match of 3 grand
Oh
finals.
my god, yeah.
6 minutes.
You got up to go get a glass of water. I got up and made a bowl of ramen, came back and ate the bowl of ramen during the match. You just didn't move at all. At all.
Is this better or worse than lousy checking Twitter during one of the Pinnacles okay?
I'm pretty sure that's worse, because literally both players got up and did something. I got up, put my ramen in the microwave for 3 minutes, and then came back, and nothing happened, nothing changed.
Didn't in winners finals or whatever we last played, I didn't camp though, I think. It was only for grand finals I camped. And I don't remember why I camped, but it was mostly out of spite, I think, at the time. I hate Luna, man. I used to hate Luna.
Why?
Because, especially with you, playing like Netplay West Coast is painful.
You can say this for a lot of the characters in that game.
Yeah.
They're really all boring once you think about it. I think the only one that I still enjoy watching is a Fiona who doesn't just do the normal air dash attack, repeat shit.
Does that mean you like my hit stun extension, Fiona? You like it? My jab combos?
Yeah, that's what I did. How could I not like something that I did myself?
Yeah. Personally, what keeps the game fresh for me is playing different characters casually, not in tournament. Like, I've recently picked up Shrek. I love his movement so much. I love that he can get so much off of, wall stuff. Him and Quasi can do that. I think they rely more on wall play than any other character in the game, and I find that really interesting and keeps the game fresh for me, playing different characters.
Do you like my Anthrax?
Your Anthrax is cancer. It makes me want to kill myself.
Nah, you love it.
Dude, you just air dash and air grab. You don't even do the infinite. You just air dash, air grab, and nothing else. You get like no damage. It's so annoying. You don't.
Does it work?
Most of the time, no. Like.
What do you mean most of the time? What do you mean?
You have to win like 10 exchanges. It's so bad. Oh my god.
Do you think One Piece Grand Adventure, it obviously has a lot better for a neutral, but sometimes the punish games are absolutely stupid. Like, in One Piece Grand Adventure, you can get a lot out of punishes. There are some characters with infinites, there's some characters like Hook, who with a bar can set up on walls and stuff. Do you think that would need to go, or do you think that could stay?
Is this directed to me or Sirens?
Provider.
You're the only one who plays it.
You're the only one that's good.
Literally, the Discord is you and Geezer, and it's like you saying, "Can we add this?" and Geezer going, "Okay," and then rinse and repeat.
What was the
Okay. Right. So the neutral game is obviously a lot better compared to Shrek, but the punish game is still quite questionable, with characters having infinites and getting a lot out of punishes, whereas you can't really just get neutral over and over. You have to get a really good punish if you want to win solidly. Do you think that would have to go? Because characters can set up on walls and stuff. Do you think that's a fair thing?
I don't think it's too much of an issue, because here's the thing. Bon Clay definitely needs to be banned, because there is that meter generation mod now, and he can infinite you if you don't have meter. So in the treasure chest game, he was just a top tier because you could usually combo break him and then do your own punishment, because you usually had meter almost 100% of the time because the coins were always dropping from chests and shit. But now that there's a mod that has meter generation, he just infinites you at the beginning of the game, and there's not really a lot you can do. There's no combo breaker, because, you just get hit and you have no meter at the beginning of the game, so you just get fucked up. So I think he'd definitely need to go, or at least his hit on his third attack would have to be changed. But here's the reason why I don't think the big punish games on certain characters are a big issue. The zoning in that game from the zoning characters specifically designed to do what they are supposed to do. Zoning, I think, is enough to counteract how much punish game some characters can get off of a punish. Like, if you ever played Nami or Vivi, they'd have really good, lockdown games where they just lock down an area and they just start throwing the projectiles and controlling an area. And they could get just as much damage off of what Shanks could do if he just had a Ben Beckman wall set up and start doing his big combos. I think it perfectly cancels each other out, although some characters arguably do their punishes and zoning a lot better than certain characters. But that's just a natural thing you have in any game. Just some characters do zoning better than other characters, and other characters have better punishes than other characters. I think it's definitely the most balanced arena fighter. If you just take out Bon Clay in the current meta with the meter generation, I think it's looking to be really nice.
Do you think it would get old though? Do you think there's enough options to keep it fresh and exciting for a long time, or do you think with maybe it's a bit limited? I'm unsure.
It depends. I'm still finding shit that I didn't know about, and I've played this game a decent amount. I'm pretty much just going hard into versus mode because I'm still enjoying the game, just even playing by myself. And I'm still finding new shit to this day. Hard shit. I think a lot of the stuff is near frame perfect. It reminds me of almost Street Fighter because you need to be really fast on your inputs on some moves. But I mean, this is the case with any game. Eventually, any game's going to get boring. Although, I think it's good enough to last. Maybe if it had a competitive scene, maybe 2 to 3 years. I think it'd still be fresh for 2 to 3 years. I mean, Shrek was able to make it that far despite having some linear ass shit. So I think it's definitely diverse enough to at least survive a meta for several years or something like that. Although we definitely just need straight up just a new arena fighter that did everything that all these arena fighters scuffed up on for us to really get something out of a competitive arena fighter.
So you think there's a genuine gap in the market for a competitive arena fighter?
I do. I mean, there's, like, you look at Japan's EVO, like, it's getting ARMS as a competitive game, and that shit's wonky as fuck. You're legit a character that's, like, from a third-person view, throwing punches long range across the map. I'm sure there's some untapped market for an arena fighter to take a spot on EVO stage, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
They're, like, I'm sure there's a lot of nostalgia for, like, Power Stone. I'm sure a lot of people in the Shrek community would like to see something. There's a lot of people who probably experienced the Godzilla games. There's obviously a lot of people who like the Gundam games. I think if somebody were to put out something like Power Stone, except made it really competitive focused, I think it might be able to grab some untapped market in terms of competitive games.
Going back to the first Crumpet cast, with the idea of us making a new game for Shrek, do you think that idea is dead? Do you think it wouldn't work at all?
I mean,
like remaking a game.
I think I left this in a certain comment on the YouTube video that I made when I was replying to somebody. I think you definitely need arena fighters that suit different players' like perspectives on how games should be. Like a Street Fighter player would never play an anime fighter because it's like super fast paced and just fucky all around. While Street Fighter's more like a footsies kind of thing, just getting some punishes and neutral here and there, rather than going for crazy ass punish games and weird mechanics. And I think that's the same for arena fighters. I think Shrek could use a fan game made for it, because the game style of Shrek is definitely interesting. You get a lot off grabs for each of the characters. Some characters more than others. They have some interesting uses of like stages and shit. And it's not as in depth as Power Stone, but I think if you had something like Shrek in a competitive arena fighter, you'd also need something like OPGA. There's a lot of stuff you need to fit for different players' tastes, so to say. So I think there'd be people who enjoyed a Shrek-like game, and there'd be people who enjoy a One Piece Grand Adventure-like game. So I think making a Shrek-like game is still a good idea, because obviously one arena fighter won't fit everybody's taste. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you were to bust out the game development company, put some money into it, and like write up what you think a competitive arena fighter should be, like, what would you make? Just completely from scratch, the competitive arena fighter.
I'd definitely make something close to One Piece Grand Adventure, except I'd make it a lot more diverse. A lot of the characters, I think the game is definitely diverse enough with playstyles. I think what it definitely lacks is a bunch of useful moves for their kits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Normally it'll narrow down to just like getting specific wall punishes, throwing against the wall, or doing like specific zoning tactics using your support with really good timing and shit like that. So if I were to make my own, I'd definitely make a lot of the options you do a lot more better. So like you have an entire kit instead of just like half your kit being useful. And then I'd definitely take out assists from the game. I don't really like assists in games. I was never really a fan of Marvel vs. Capcom.
This is like Marvel vs. Capcom, where other characters kind of jump in and do an attack kind of thing.
Yeah, except in this game, the character comes in and fights with you for like a minute.
Oh, okay, that's pretty dumb.
It's pretty awful. Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom, in my opinion, I think the assists are fine because they just come in and do one attack. Like Spider-Man, for example, he comes in and shoots a web ball and then runs away. But in Ooga, they just stay there forever, and you can get punished really hard for trying to kill the assist. So it feels like it's not even worth it to try and kill the assist, which makes it feel like you're fighting a 2v1.
I also hate how it makes you invincible as well while you're summoning it.
Yes.
So,
You can actually there is a like guarding is not frame 1, so you can punish them out of that. But
okay.
The thing about the assists in that game, I definitely agree. It is a bad design choice, because obviously the game wasn't made for competitive. It was just the closest that people got to competitive, in my opinion, when it comes to an arena fighter, along with Power Stone. The assists are basically a summon. The HP on these assists vary, but they're in there to fight with you, basically making a 2v1 or a 2v2 if they have their own assist out as well. And you can kill well, you can kill almost all of the assists except for Anel's assist, which stays on there shooting an area of effect bullshit. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. But all the assists can be hit, they can be stunned, they can be killed. But when you're in the middle of a fight with somebody, it can be really hard to find a situation to do that. Most of the time you have to get them, like, you hit the assist to stun them, then you have to get, like, a neutral hit that knocks them down, then you can kill the assist. But it creates a scuff amount to the game. However, with meter generation and the meter starting at 0 now for the meta, I think that's almost entirely fixed. The supports are still cancer, of course, because they still exist, but there's more meter, like, what do you call it, meter management, because sometimes you have to use an assist, sometimes you have to save it for a combo breaker, sometimes you can use it for a super. And just throwing out assist at all times isn't exactly useful because somebody could just wait out the assist, or they can there's like certain assist tracking patterns you can abuse to make them not as useful on the map. But yeah, I'm not going to go too far into it. I've already gone pretty far enough. Just basically, assists are trash. Another thing I have in my own arena fighter is I keep the super meters in One Piece Grand Adventure. I think super meters have been used very well in that game. Most of the supers can be confirmed into from a combo. Sometimes you can use your assist to hit the you can use your assist to like confirm into the super. Others are just like for zoning. Some are doing like some are good for like certain situations. Like there's a character named Wapple who can use a super legit just to kill the assist, and he's invincible while he's doing it. So he can there's a pretty good use for that. Like I like the super meters in One Piece Grand Adventure. I feel like every character has a super that they can use almost in any situation, or at least in one situation, and that's what I like about the supers in that game. None of the characters I feel like have a useless super, and that's what I'd like to see in my arena fighter. I'd like to have characters have supers for different situations. Obviously, there are some that could be used for like ground coverage, some that could be used in combos, some that could be used as like a buff or some shit like that. Like there's a character named Kuro who can go invisible, and it's hard to see what attacks he's doing at sometimes. So that's definitely something I would steal from the One Piece Grand Adventure if I were to make my own arena fighter.
Honestly, I think I'd play One Piece Grand Adventure if it had a Shrek paint of code on it. I really like the cast of characters that Shrek has. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, that's the one thing about One Piece Grand Adventure. I feel like the fact that it's One Piece might turn some people off. Just like, although
he says
it has
game, not Shrek.
That I feel like a lot of people just feel like, oh, it's an anime game, gotta dodge. I mean, that's the same thing for Shrek. It's like, oh no, it's a Shrek meme, gotta dodge. It's probably not competitive in any way.
They'd be right.
Like that. It's not wrong, but yeah, a parallel world where it's actually wrong. If only it existed and we were in it. But yeah, I think One Piece Grand Adventure, the fact that it's One Piece definitely does hurt its reputation a little bit. So obviously, if you're to make your own competitive arena fighter, it'd have to be like a new IP. You can't just like throw out, here's some. Unless Smash Bros. Did it. If like Nintendo did a competitive arena fighter and had Nintendo characters, well, damn straight that'd take off. It's Nintendo.
For sure. I mean, basically anything Nintendo puts out, people try and make competitive. People try and make ARMS competitive. Boy. And one thought that was running through my mind, it's not really that close, but Pokken has the 3D mode, and people try to make that competitive. I mean, it fit, yeah.
Is that an arena fighter?
Kind of. It's a weird system.
Yeah.
It has phase shifts.
Yeah.
So basically, you start out the battle in an arena fighter mode, and once you get a solid hit that's not like a projectile or anything, it phase shifts into a 2D fighter.
Like if you want a footsie fight, kind of. It shifts into 2D.
And then it shifts back and forth, which is really weird and jarring.
Yeah,
it's a strange game.
After you get a really good combo, it shifts from 2D back to 3D.
And the process repeats, yeah.
Like, it's kind of reminiscent of Street Fighter, in my opinion, where if you win footsies, it confirms into a combo, and then once you're done with your combo, it goes back to neutral. Which I think it does the exact same thing. Debatable, yeah. It does the exact same thing in Pokken, in my opinion.
Except it shifts to a 3D fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes
it's
back to
weird.
neutral.
It basically forces neutral.
Yeah, I've also
Yeah, it
noticed.
really does.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of play. Basically, the 3D just comes down to projectile spam, but not always. I don't think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure it's incredibly viable as a competitive game. I don't really know much about it, so I'm not going to trash it too much. But
Oh yeah. Speaking on that, another thing I want to bring up about arena fighters is no arena fighters have ever had good wake up options. Like you see with Shrek, they have that invincibility when they get up.
yeah,
It has it as well. There's not a lot of like tech chasing in arena fighters. It sucks. I feel like if that was something if I were to make a competitive arena fight, I'd definitely try to at least make something tech chasey.
yeah.
That
I was going to say it's a
doesn't
harder
feel-
problem to solve, right, with the 3 dimensions, because all of a sudden there's an entire other axis of places they could go.
I mean, you could just make it 3D Smash, so you could like have the roll option be in any direction, and you
Yeah.
still have a wake up.
But then you'd
attack.
surely,
Well-
then you'd almost always lose, right? Surely.
Well, it depends on whether you're going for a read. I guess you could have like 8 directions or something.
Yeah.
And you could make it like really reactable. I don't know. It
Do
really
you
depends.
guys? Oh, sorry. Do you guys consider ARMS an arena fighter?
It's like a thin line. I'm not sure how to classify it. It's almost like a third-person shooter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with no as well.
Because the wake up option's just like that. You can roll in any direction, and I think that the wake up game in ARMS is amazing. Like that's my favorite part of the game. I can there's a lot you have options when you get up, but there's also ways to like knock people back down from wake up if they mess up. So I like to do a lot of like hard reads on their wake up.
I'd like to bring up the City of Final Fantasy. That has a sort of tech chasing option. It feels kind of forced, but it works. Basically, in that game, if you hit somebody far away, you can press X to jump to them, and you can either do another hit to continue the bravery attacks to build up your bravery meter, or you can do the HP attack to just do some damage to their HP. And the bravery attack comes out instantly, so they have to dodge instantly, and the HP attack comes out delayed, so they have to delay their dodge. It creates a sense of rock, paper, scissors to it. Also, when you hit people against the wall, you can either attack, and if they don't see the bravery attack coming, then they'll get hit. Or they could throw a block or dodge, and that get out of the bravery attack. Or if you do an HP attack, and they dodge instantly, they'll likely get hit. So it has a rock, paper, scissors system kind of to it. It's one of those weird, almost like anime fighting game kind of things. That's why I say it feels kind of tacked on, because it creates a cinematic event when you do this kind of shit.
Okay.
But if you were to find something that flowed naturally into tech chasing and arena fighters, I'd definitely look at Final Fantasy, the City of
When you say X jumps to them, do you mean like you literally kind of teleport above them? And then
Yeah, you straight up, if you knock them up into the air, you press X, you jump straight to them, and it's like a cinematic event. It's kind of slow motion.
Okay, and then there's a
you
rock,
go-
paper, scissors moment where you're going to press one of these 3 attacks, and your opponent has to do one of 3 options to avoid, effectively.
Yeah, basically. And there's like different options you can do. There's you can knock them up and start doing the follow-up shit, like mentioned earlier, or you can knock them into a wall and then try to like trap them with like frame traps or area coverage. And they also have options as well to counteract each of those options that you choose. So it's an interesting rock paper scissors kind of area, but again, it kind of feels tacked on. It's something that doesn't flow naturally into the combat. I feel like if I were to capture something like that tech chasing, it'd have to flow more naturally to work in a competitive game.
Okay, Dissidia came out on like PSP, didn't it?
Yeah, I recently tried it. Got the PSP emulator. I tried the games. They're all right. There's a lot of shit to learn with customization and the characters, though, so I just dodged.
Okay. Yeah, because you can't have the competitive arena fighter on PSP. That ain't gonna work.
PSP, that plays a thing, apparently, and it's kind of easy. Yeah, the
Wow.
PSP emulator is really good.
Yes, I have heard really good things about. Is it we're using PPSSPP or whatever it's called?
Yeah, PPSSPP.
I've heard good things about that. Like up on Dolphin, that kind of level's good. I've heard people saying.
Yeah, it's very nicely made. It's not Dolphin level, but the interface is like almost entirely captures what you'd see on like a PlayStation device. It's really nice.
Nice. I did have another question about your video. you used footage of an actual Power Stone tournament. My first question, do you know when that actually was? It looks like it was
September 10th? Hold on. September 8th, maybe?
this year.
Power Stone Tournament. Yeah, it was this year.
This year. I was going to say that it looks like it was years ago. But
September
this year.
9th. If it looked like it was years ago, it's because the things I used to download the videos made it 360p.
Okay. Yeah, I did notice sometimes the quality would like up and down dramatically in the video. Yeah, so was this like a side event at like a Smash tournament or something, or was it just an actual Power Stone?
Well, it might have been a side tournament because I checked out this channel and they usually host a lot of Darkstalkers events, but I think this was legitimately a tournament because last year they had another Power Stone tournament on the 2016. They had a Power Stone tournament this year in the same exact day, September 9th, 2017.
Oh, okay. So
I think it's actually a thing they have, and
like,
our boy Giza was actually in the 2017 tournament in grand finals. That's the footage I used.
Oh, I thought the name looked familiar, but I was like, surely it can't be the same.
Is he like local to the scene, or did he travel out for it?
I'm not entirely sure. I haven't asked him too much about it. The tournament, I would say, was pretty low on skill until like the later matches, such as Giza's match. Giza definitely demolished everybody in that tournament.
I actually wanted to talk about growing the Shrek scene. Does anyone have any ideas on how we could do that, or if it's even worth growing the Shrek scene at this point?
Burn it down?
If someone was to put the time into modding a better game, then I think it might be worth it. But I don't think it's worth it. But I think if someone was to waste their life making a better game out of Shrek, then it would be worth growing. That's what I think.
In my professional opinion on the subject, of course, I don't think the game is moddable to the point that it's a good game. I think you can. I don't know.
You can remove a lot of features that make it campy.
Yeah. So if we're talking like full PM style mod, where we're starting to change individual moves, like introduce new animations and stuff, maybe then you could get there. I don't think that stage will ever happen.
I think the first things you need to do are change the mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah. It won't be just a project M. This will be a bigger project.
That's the thing. It'd have to be such
game.
a big project to change so much of the game that it would basically be.
You think when you say that a frame one roll or dodge is like not important, then yeah, there's a lot of mechanics that need to change.
Yeah.
You need to change the walls. So you can't jump on them infinitely. You need to change the way jumping works in general. You need to change the way. You probably need to add options.
But yeah, I think the game would require so much changes that it would basically be SuperSlam in name alone. I don't think it would be recognisable as the original game. At which point you might as well just make a new game, right? We should make Labyrinth competitive. We should just make every game that those guys make competitive.
Labyrinth. I've never turned it on. I feel bad because I have the code. I see some people are like, oh, I want the game, but I'm just, I'm not putting money into it. I just have the game. Never turned it on. Never going to turn it on.
I think it's funny that they gave us the codes for their game, but I looked on Steam and it said free.
You got how many? Is it on? I didn't realise it was on Steam. Do you know how many concurrent players it has?
I don't know, but
I saw that someone else I knew had it, which is surprising. I didn't think anyone would.
Maybe that person was really disillusioned with Hearthstone, which is obviously the best competitive game.
No.
It's on Steam. It has positive ratings. It's mostly positive. What the fuck is it? 76%. So it's
pretty good.
It obviously must not be that terrible. I did play an hour of it. It wasn't bad. It was Fire Emblem with cards. That's what I can say. It's just Fire Emblem with cards.
That sounds pretty cool.
You make a deck, and you just take your heroes off to whatever the fuck grand adventure they want to do. And
is that Grand Adventure again? How can we relate this to One Piece Grand Adventure? Is this One Piece Grand Adventure cast? What do we name it to?
What do we name this podcast? What do we name it? It'll be a grand battle.
No, that's a terrible name. You're
There
fired.
you are.
You're fired.
There you are.
I think you
There
meant
you
Jump
are.
Up Super
Stop
Guy.
screech!
Shock
Shuriken
and
shooting
awe.
stars!
I think you meant Jump Up.
Go away. Fucking hell.
Sanji has the best lines.
I'm falling in love.
My
heart's
heart's so heavy it's sinking.
Oh no, what have I done?
Would
That game has the best voice design ever. 4 Kids should come back, dude.
You're the first person in the
jelly
history
donuts.
of the earth to say that.
These donuts are great. Jelly-filled are my favorite. Nothing beats a jelly-filled donut.
My favourite 4 Kids antics is in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Where they chase after Kaiba, and in the original, he jumps out a window after they point guns at him. In the 4 Kids one, they do the exact same sequence, they just don't have the guns, so they're just kind of pointing at him, and it looks really stupid.
I've seen that.
Also, the Shadow Realm only exists as a concept because of the 4 Kids dog. They just die in the original. Which,
I
to be
didn't know
fair,
that.
if I still
I
played
didn't know
Yu-Gi-Oh,
that.
I'd probably want to die as well, so...
How they changed? I thought Shadow Realm. I thought that was written to be like a fucking some actual Yu-Gi-Oh lore. And wait, they just actually die.
I think so. I might be wrong, but I'm almost certain that it's just a dub thing, yeah.
Shit, Yu-Gi-Oh dark as hell in Japan, Capper.
I always wondered, but they left in the bit about the Seal of Orichalcos stealing your soul. That bit always confused me. That always, as a kid, that always felt like really comparatively dark compared to the rest of the series. I don't know why, because like kids get their soul trapped in cards and stuff. Maybe I was just a dumb kid, but it did feel
Yeah,
a bit weird.
that really creeped me out.
Because
I got spooked.
I wouldn't know the situation y'all are talking about.
it's what season is it?
4, I think.
Is it okay? So
5 is the one where they go back in time.
that one was the worst. Oh my god, I hated that. I said never played card games. God damn.
Go back in time. Wait, what? Are
Right.
we still in Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah.
Yes.
The final series,
Yeah.
they just wander about Egypt forever. And a bunch
Yep.
of, like, the popular card characters, like that Magician Girl, are just characters that have no relation to the cards. So, like, she looks exactly the same, but she's, like, some Egyptian nurse or something. It's really weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what, I can't remember the story. They're trying to,
I
like,
do.
find the pharaoh's, like, origins or something.
I think the Pharaoh was trying to figure out what his name was or some shit.
Yeah. Even though there was that amazing line at the end of Jeweler's Kingdom where he says, "Some people call me Yu-Gi-Oh," which made me laugh. You got season 1, which is Jeweler's Kingdom, and season 2 is Battle City, I think. And
Yes.
and at
yes.
some point in there, you've got the Seal of Origin.
Season 3 was the one where they went to the cyber.
Oh,
guy.
the stupid video game one, but it wasn't really a new season because it was in the middle of Battle City, so they just paused Battle City for like an entire season and then go, oh yeah, now we got to finish that tournament. What a stupid series.
Yeah, and then season 4 was Seal of Orichalcos.
Yeah, so basically, the Silver Orichalcos provider, it's a field spell, it's OP as hell, can't be destroyed. All your monsters get 500 attack. You get a second back row of monsters that can't be attacked until the first row is destroyed. But it does have a caveat that if you lose, the loser of the game, in the game where the Seal of Orichalcos is played, loses their soul. Pretty
Is
stupid.
that Seal of... I can't remember exactly. Was the Seal of Orichalcos for both players or for one?
Because the stakes were always really high, because any time Yugi would potentially lose, they're like, you're going to lose your soul, but then he never did.
Should we spoil it? There was that one time where he did lose.
Right,
Like, they said that the whole idea was that Pharaoh, the guy that had the card, gave the Pharaoh the Seal of Orichalcos, the card itself. So the Pharaoh played it, and he lost little Yugi, his soul.
Oh, I don't remember that, but okay. This is also the series that has the infinite attack. The bigger than infinite
Yes,
attack.
that was the end of the series.
Okay, yeah. So the big final monster
That was why.
is this big ass snake, and he's got the knights, and he says he gets the knights to attack, then bounce their attack off each other because it tends towards infinity. Talk about Yu-Gi-Oh teaching like limits and stuff. In series, bloody hell. And then he's like, my snake still has infinity attack points. But then somehow they like transfer it into a third knight, and now it's greater than infinity.
Yeah, because he pushes it in or some shit. You're stupid.
It's so good.
That's the best ending ever.
This is why you need to watch more anime. You get some fucking weird shit like that.
Yu-Gi-Oh is the only anime you need, man.
No.
Can you actually do that in the card game?
No.
Like make it.
No.
That's not how numbers work.
No, that's where they got the idea from.
Jesus.
I thought like everything in Yu-Gi-Oh was meant to teach you how to play the card game.
No. Oh no.
Just like
No.
That's like saying Pokemon.
Pikachu beats everything.
Yeah. They
Fuck it.
yeah, because Twitch were broadcasting the original series again. So I watched, in like the very first game against Weevil, there's this stupid thing where Weevil gets out his Great Moth, which he shouldn't have been able to get out anyway. And then you make something with the exact same attack points, but then there's some like poison.
Poison? Poison, it makes no sense.
The writers just go, screw it, there's poison now. Oh, it's so stupid. And then he clears up the poison with a top deck. Oh. It's the greatest series ever written. How could you not love it?
And then after
the days
season,
you could just summon the fucking level 8 monster with no tributes.
Yeah. Oh man. The Harpy Lady's age. The Elegant Egotist just duplicates Harpies so she can have like 10 billion Harpies. Sometimes attacks will hit everything on the board, sometimes they won't. It's beautiful. It's so good. I had the Labyrinth Duel episodes on DVD as a kid, and they were so good. The first episode, they fully established the rules of the stupid labyrinth, and then by the end of it, the writers clearly couldn't be bothered to stick to it. Because they just go, okay, Gate Guardian's a thing, and as soon as you kill Gate Guardian, you win, screw it. And they just, like, teleport to it or something ridiculous. Because they cannot be bothered with these stupid labyrinth rules. It's so good all around. It's just the best.
The best part is the anime cheats in the fucking Yu-Gi-Oh anime game, but I'm pretty sure Yu-Gi-Oh's current meta would beat the cheating anime.
Yeah, probably would. YCS London is this week. My friend is judging it, and I think top 32 is 31 of the same deck, and then one of a deck.
What's the point of entering a card tournament if everyone has the same deck? Doesn't that mean it's just RNG?
yeah.
No, because everyone cheats and stacks their decks.
This is a thing. There's a lot of cheating at high level.
Yeah, no, people do it in Magic, Pokemon, any competitive card game, people cheat, and that's how they win.
This podcast is so much fucking shambles. We used to talk about Shrek only, and we'd like say, let's not discuss Melee, man. This is the Shrek podcast. But now, in order to find content, we're just talking about Yu-Gi-Oh. Even
It's worth talking about. I could rant about Yu-Gi-Oh for hours and hours and hours. It's my favourite thing about the game is how bad it is, because I can just rant about it.
From one bad meta to another.
Exactly.
This is truly a metamorphosis.
I absorb them. Wherever I go, there is a bad meta. I played Melee, I played Yu-Gi-Oh, I played Shrek, and they're all terrible. It's a curse to be associated with me.
Well, let's keep it true to the theme then, I guess. Going back to Shrek, Screech, you have some new tech. Did you talk about it yet?
I've not really talked about it with anyone. Alright, are you ready? So, you play a character that can onion boost, say Fiona. You do a high wall attack.
Refresh us on what onion boosting is, since we're not in
okay, so
2015.
onion boosting is when you do a high wall attack and then you jump as soon as you land. so that you can get some momentum.
Okay, cool.
Very simple.
Yeah.
Very, very simple. Anyway, you do a high wall attack, you hit the opponent, and upon hitting the opponent, you can push A to teleport back to the wall,
What?
and then do another high wall attack. Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yes.
Imagine fucking Fiona just doing like that high wall attack, that where she just jumps down and kicks, and as soon as she hits you, she's back to the wall doing it again.
No way.
Yeah.
Someone's got to test this with me.
How dramatic is this teleport? Can you, like, go across the stage?
Yes.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. If you're at the very top, then yeah. I've got several Zeta stalls with it.
I always feel like that is turning
if you play
Xenos.
like Red Riding Hood, sometimes if you like miss the A input when you hit, you'll do an apple as you're doing an onion boost. So you'll apple, and then they'll stun them, and then you'll have the effects of an onion boost. It's fucking great. Best meta.
I am incredibly surprised to be saying that we actually have a new tech. I thought that died out after like episode 1, but wow, we did it. We have a new tech, and that sounds super busted. Can you get like a video or something?
No, it's not busted at all. It doesn't combo.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's but the one thing you could use it for is like shield pressure, but you can already do that with grab. So
Yeah,
there's
like,
not-
you can just do high wall attack into grab most of the time with the good characters.
especially if you have onion boost already. So, like the idea was, if you were playing Fiona Ogre, you could continually knock them down, but unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. It's only with onion boost characters. So far, it looks like at least.
You have to have no lag on your high wall attack in order to do the repeated shit.
Yeah.
And at that point, just do grab instead. Cause
Sirens poster code. I'll join.
Oh, okay.
You're not doing it right now, are you?
In the middle of the cast.
Is the cast
after-
just going to
after
be
we're
click,
done.
click, 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 click the whole time from
Yo,
GameCube controllers?
Can we talk about... You two have played with each other after Scrub announced his amazing new jump grab release tech. Please describe how that went.
I got it once. I got the jump grab release once. It's probably doable, but you have to be so quick. It's probably not practical on net play. You won't be able to react to getting a grab quick enough to do it.
You can mash up very quickly.
Yeah, you can mash up pretty quickly.
Before the full jump.
Oh, I just remembered. I found Toast secret task stuff. I looked up some Shrek boards history because I was bored, and I saw Toast actually tested like Tazzing the mashing. Apparently, he mashed out faster in Taz by doing left and right rather than circles.
Well, that's what
really?
the game
Wow.
shows you. The game
Yeah.
literally
Oh,
tells
well,
you to go left and right.
I mean, the devs are a bit debatable. You can never really trust some graphics. Let's be completely fair.
I mean, it does say left and right when you get knocked down. It does tell you to move left and right.
Yeah, but the amount of frame difference that it was actually pretty impressive. It was like 15 frames of a difference.
Yeah.
Do you think, in terms of human use, is faster to do circles? Or not?
I don't got a damn clue.
It
It might be if you find a really good way. Like, do you remember when I was playing on Fight Stick, how I described how going left and right was a lot faster than me spinning the stick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you were to capture something like a Fight Stick going left or right, like you can do something like that really fast on a Fight Stick. If
I
you
feel
were to
like
capture something like that on the GameCube mashing, I think it might be faster to go left and right.
I feel like it'd be pretty hard to just go left and right on the GameCube. Maybe, I don't know. You could do semicircles, that way you're not doing a full circle for each one, but you're still... Oh, it's the same thing, I guess.
You could do the Mario Party thing, except like just do it left and right. You just put your fucking palm on the stick and just go...
You won't be able to react very quickly after you break out.
Yeah, the only problem is I tried that once before, I think, except instead of just like doing this left right, I tried to do circles, and holy shit, it's so hard to act out of. Like, you mash out of like Dronky's fucking anti. I almost call Dronky Squeecher just because he's the only person that plays that character. But yeah, you mash out of Dronky's fucking infinite, and then you always roll like the same way because I'm just like mashing the stick so fucking hard with my palm, and I'm just spinning the C stick that I'm fucking just going haywire on the stick, just doing the same shit over and over again, and I usually just got hit again because it was so like similar every time I got out of the mash. Didn't you try out the one thing where, like, you know, the jumping fucking anti-airs? Didn't you try something out with that?
Yeah, I figured out how jumping anti. Well, figured out big quotation marks. The Romeo's ledges. There are like you know how you can buffer shit. I'm pretty sure if you jump, because there's a frame where you can jump on the ledge seemingly and then land very quickly. I'm pretty sure you can buffer an anti-air just after doing a jump, and that's what causes it. I could be wrong, but you can get it with every character, and it only seems to really be effective, as in, it only really gets the hitbox out with Shrek and Quasi. It, gets the particle effect of Anthrax, but it doesn't actually give a hitbox. I don't know what's up with that.
It doesn't give a hitbox?
Yeah. No, you could just see a rainbow pop out of the way.
Like, those are the only two characters I could get, like, the jump with, was, like, Shrek and shit, with the hitbox coming out. But I never really tested the other characters. I remember trying with Luna, but she just wouldn't fucking do anything and just get the jump effect, but she wouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's a weird-ass thing. Just, like, the whole entire game is just weird-ass tech.
You can buffer literally anything. You can buffer through pauses as well, which is the basis for pause cancelling some effects. So yeah, you can buffer. It's dumb game. There isn't much to say. I don't know if, because you know how I described how hitboxes and hurtboxes grow and shrink depending on whether you roll during an attack. I always wondered if that worked through doubles. So if some guy in doubles just grabs, everyone else has a huge hit for hurtbox for a second. I always wondered if that was the case.
I still fucking looking for goddamn Toast when he said the frame times of mashing. He says task mashing is 21 frames. I'm assuming that's the side to side one. I can't find where he fucking mentioned going in circles.
Let's see. You guys want to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh some more?
Nah.
Oh my god.
Nah, we're good.
It seems to be the
We
one
haven't
thing
even-
that we can discuss.
We haven't even talked about Ooga Booga yet.
Ooga
Cool.
Booga.
The greatest.
I'm ill-informed on this. What is this?
Ooga
I'm
Booga.
ill-informed.
It's a Dreamcast game that, Big Knee Lover and the other guy with like the Minecraft picture came in and started just talking about weird shit like the nuclear shooter game or whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, they're coming in with random game suggestions, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Ooga Booga!
The flyer for Ooga Booga.
Yeah, they made a 10 out of 10 poster for it.
It says, go back to Africa.
Oh my god.
and you look at the gameplay of it, and it's like debatable. Is it even multiplayer? It looks like complete shit.
It does.
Like the game just is like fucking guys running around looking like it looks like tank controls, and you're just walking around hitting people with some dumbass moves.
Okay, so imagine you have the maps of Mario 64, and you put characters from OGPA in it. Yeah, that's what
That's
it's
the
called.
one.
Imagine that.
That's debatable.
You're literally in this huge ass Mario 64 map.
It looks like one of those fucking games where like you only have 3 different attacks, and like the devs just threw like some fucking random models they probably found off the internet or some shit into the fucking game and just had them do some random ass shit. Like there's like this death guy. I don't know why a death guy is in a game about Africa, but that'll be a different topic for a different day. But he just walks around and he shot like some fucking lightning or some shit. He only had like 3 different moves. It was like the worst gameplay I've ever seen. It's like third person.
Oh my god,
It's
yeah.
apparently multiplayer. So like, do you screen share? There's no multiplayer videos on YouTube.
Yeah,
I've never seen any.
I've seen videos on a video I watched of it. Some dude just like shoots up into the sky and just like flies around forever. How could you play that? Because your character's like not on screen anymore because
Oh, it's so bad. Dude, when I was looking up YouTube videos of it, there's legit like only one guy uploading YouTube videos of it. It's just one guy who just loves the game or some shit. PC Wizard spelled WZRD 13, and he's like the only guy with Ooga Booga gameplay. There's a guy called Dreamcastic channel, but his channel's obviously dead. There's a random Russian guy, but yeah, most of it is from PC Wizard 13.
Oh, I have another question. What happened to that guy who said he was going to make the video and then made a good video on SuperSlam? He's not in the Discord anymore, is he?
Murdoch.
That's the one. Thanks.
Yeah, he made the video.
I got another video. He made a PS2 collection update.
Yeah, I watched that as well.
Yeah, and he actually talks about the game and says it was surprisingly good. Bless him.
Yeah, and then he slagged off Smash and Crash Racing.
Yeah,
so.
I always wanted to point him to the Discord for that as well. Except that is one dead Discord.
We tried to play on NetPlay once.
Did you actually?
Yeah, it didn't work. At least we got some quality JV5 guy playing it. It was a good session.
Yo, get out of my face, Pinocchio bitch. There's a clip on my Twitch channel where me and JV5 guy are playing some Shrek Smash and Crash Racing, and we both jumped off one of those like shooter things that shoot you across like in like Mario Kart, where you get like the dash panels and they dash you across the next section.
Yeah, like a ramp.
And you have melee attacks in the game, so I said, get out of my face, Pinocchio bitch. And I hit him with the melee attack, and he got thrown off track, and he had to redo like a whole entire section. Oh my god!
That sounds like the highest quality game still.
Didn't he spend like a good 20 minutes trying to figure out if there were any glitches or whatever?
Yeah, he just kept saying like, yeah, I'm gonna find out all the glitches in this game. Check this out, I'm gonna do out of bounds. And he just drove into a wall for like 20 minutes. He got Wait a damn minute, I think this PC Wizard guy's stealing content.
Do you think?
Here's the Dreamcastic Channels thumbnail, right? And then he made a video that had this thumbnail.
Oh my god!
Dreamcast. Oh my god!
We're going to cover the biggest conspiracy on YouTube.
And it's about the Ooga Booga game on Dreamcast.
Maybe they had a big fight. Maybe they were working together on the Ooga Booga series and then had a huge falling out.
IGN has videos on it, but they're so scuffed. IGN videos look scuffed. It says Ooga Booga Dreamcast video _2001_08_07. What? Why is this game so fucking weird, and why is even IGN weird when covering it?
Do you think it's like rare, or do you think it's just one of those stupid games that literally no one ever... Oh, I was about to say maybe...
92 views!
There's so many of these. There's 100.
I'm convinced that they must have just had like some kind of archive that they were going to delete or something, so they just dumped every video on it on YouTube. And they didn't care about the titles or anything. They were just like, put it on YouTube.
There's no description.
No, there is a description. The description just says none.
None! Oh, no.
Someone typed in none.
I think those are supposed to be unlisted, but maybe someone just forgot. I wonder what dev company made this game. Ooga Booga Wikipedia. Let's check it out. It's an online multiplayer game for the Dreamcast.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Oh no! Online?
It's focusing on the combat of kahunas.
Using thrown
shrunken heads!
It has a distinct Polynesian style and tone. And has many multiplayer islands and characters that can be unlocked.
Abraham Lincoln?
What?
Unlockable kahunas based on the main forward. Some of them include Death, Abe, former U.S. President Abraham Lincoln, Super Guy, and a dwarf.
Super Guy.
Super Guy.
It received very positive reviews, including a 10.0 from IGN.
What? No, this is a meme. It is often received as overall greatest game of early 2000s. The other games like Team Fortress 2 and Mass Effect.
This has been vandalized. This has been vandalized.
I want to view the history. Surely it hasn't been like that forever.
Yeah, I'm a screenshot.
Wait, this has something different. There are multiple masks. Blah blah blah. It
Send
received
the,
very positive reviews, including a 9.6 from IGN.
A 9.6.
Why are these pages so weird? This one moves 795 pages. This game is so fun. This is all in caps, by the way. Hold on, I'll just leave this page. I'll make sure you include snapshots of these in the editing.
Yeah, I will. This is hilarious.
This game is so fun. I love it so much. Superhero and dwarf.
They weren't far off though. It did legitimately get a 9.4 from IGN.
What? Here's another one. Check that one out. It's just, oh my god, over and over again. Oh, how does something like
This
this
page is
exist?
scuffed. The community only gave it 7.9, but IGN 9.4. Amazing.
That's how you know it's good.
One thing I hate about the video game industry today is the reliance of a brand name to sell a title. It's not like I hate every single video game for a well-known brand name attached to the product. It just seems like a new generation of gamers are so naive to immediately buy a bad product with a recognised title, while passing on excellent titles that haven't had a mainstream hook. Again, not every brand name is as bad as evidenced by Tony Hawk, just most of them. It pains me to think of a turd like South Park Rally outsold the innovative Choo Choo Rocket many times over, a prime example of how many don't get a chance with the oddly named title that turns out to be a gem. That's why I, and this is in bold, implore all those reading this review who obviously own a Dreamcast not to pass up one of the finer Dreamcast games at the time when games for Sega's White Wonder were becoming scarcer. When you have a top-notch, solid Dreamcast game title like Ooga Booga. It's amazing we're getting exceptional titles this late into the Dreamcast life, especially for an online Dreamcast game. That's the first paragraph of IGN's review. Oh my god, and it just goes on.
Is it actually good? That's the one thing I really want to figure out. Is it actually good? I kind of want to try it out.
Everyone is just... Everyone thinks it's good, I guess.
We gotta play it.
Crumpet plays Ooga Booga.
That page that I posted earlier says, I've got infinite amounts of swag. This is the most scuffed shit. The scuffed games, scuffed Wikipedia articles.
This is my favourite discovery outside of the ice chewing thing we've found in this podcast. This underground community of editing the Ooga Booga Wikipedia page and this outstanding review. Also, this
editing the Ooga Booga Wikipedia page is the same guy who recommended it in the Discord. Presentation a 9, graphics 8.8, sound 9.3, Ooga Booga.
The somewhat jazzy tunes. 40 plus levels. Plus the best only multiplayer experience yet. I'll see you guys online with Super Guy.
Dude, is that the same dude from Jump Up Super Guy?
It's come full circle.
Yeah.
Jump Up Super Guy. And Super Guy and Ooga Booga.
This review is so funny. He just keeps going, singing the praises of this amazing game. It doesn't even look like a good game. I don't get what this guy's talking about.
I wonder if the IGN interviewer lost his cap.
maybe he was related to the devs.
IGN editors, where are they now? Ooh, maybe he's hitting this. A pickup from the Game Fan magazine. Dango head Anthony Chow came aboard IGN to join Brandon Justice on the highly popular IGN Dreamcast channel, while also finding time to shower praise on anything Shenmue.
Shenmue.
In mid 2001, Anthony headed off to work in the PR field for Visual Concepts, which eventually became 2K Sports, before leaving for Sega, where he currently serves as a public relations manager. That's the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. The guy who reviewed Ooga, or just a guy?
That's
That's the Ooga Booga.
Yeah, he reviewed it.
That's the Ooga Booga.
It does have. I found it does have split screen.
Ooga Booga.
From another. There's not one but two massive IGN articles about this game, and the second one does confirm that there's split screen offline.
Who the fuck made this game?
Yeah.
Second.
The Wikipedia has been so vandalised. Oh, visual concepts. What else have they made? Pipe Mania.
Bro,
Wait, Visual Concepts?
They made McDonaldland. Yeah, Visual Concepts. They've made a lot, bloody hell. They make all the NBA games. And the
Anthony
WWE
headed off to work in the PR field for Visual Concepts. Now this is a bit debatable. Now this is a bit debatable, this one. Oh.
All of a sudden.
Oh. All of a sudden, it makes sense.
It makes a lot more sense now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What the fuck, all these NFL games?
Yeah, they just make NBA games now.
Yeah, he said he works for 2K Sports, which is also to do with Visual Concepts. Parent 2K Sports. I'm thinking about it.
Shit.
Yo, they worked on Sonic Adventure 2.
So wait, Squee, do you know that this is the guy who made the review?
Yeah, because if you scroll down to the bottom, it says his name.
Okay, cool. Okay.
The Americanization of Ooga Booga. This isn't related to Ooga Booga, just a Wikipedia article.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right.
Wait, is it
That's
Alvaro?
very debatable.
I'll link you to all my sources.
This is gonna be
Like,
Sonic Adventure 2.
Go and Control F Anthony Chow.
the great Ooga Booga. Ooga Booga conspiracy.
This is making the papers.
This is we're blowing the lid off this conspiracy. This is bigger than the JFK files.
Yo, Visual Concepts made Lester the Unlikely.
What?
Huh? What's that?
You telling me you don't know what Lester the Unlikely is?
That's the unlikely. Sounds kind of familiar.
Well, it was reviewed by AVGN. If I guess none of you know.
Oh, yeah, I remember
What
now.
was?
The
Sonic?
nerdy guy. The nerdy guy fighting like turtles and shit.
Yes, Lester the Unlikely.
I know that guy, but what did he review? What?
That Visual Concepts made Lester the Unlikely. So this is.
Oh,
So this is the
yeah! I
same.
remember
The
that.
same. So yeah.
I remember when
The
they did
typical
that.
teenage boy Lester who is kind of geeky and kind of sleepy.
Wait, why is this Mugen? Why is he in Mugen?
What? What? What?
Sorry, Mr. Casual.
Someone like this to Mr. Casual.
That's cool. But yeah, this is the Ooga Booga conspiracy.
Yeah, no, this is really weird, isn't it? He leaves in the same year he gave the great review to go and work for them. Oh no, I think he had contacts.
Let's see.
And it came out near the end of the year. Because it came out in September.
Yeah, he left in 2001.
Yeah.
And he said this might have been his last review, in fact.
Yeah.
It releases September 13th, 2001. So this could have very well been his last review. And he gives it a 9.4.
and sings its praises to high heavens. Maybe he already had the job offer from them.
Yeah, maybe this was what would get him a job. Maybe he's like, oh, hey guys, look what I did for you again.
Maybe he just really knew the director of the company really well.
Yeah, maybe he was okay. He could have used this to get a job. He's like, oh, I already gave your game a lot of publicity, so I think you should give me a job. Yeah, maybe, that was it.
This is big.
We just found some incognito IGN shit on our Crumpet casting podcast.
I'll tell you.
A podcast about Shrek SuperSlam. We find fucking Ooga Booga writers that doing guitars and shit.
I'm telling you, they're in cahoots. It's
Let's get a big smoke.
We should edit this onto the Wikipedia page. It's more legitimate than anything on there at the moment. Right. Oh, this is hilarious.
We've got to expose Anthony Chow.
Yeah.
The
The Anthony Chow expose is too big. It's bigger than the Comic Clip podcast. How did you find this page, Squeal, and where are they now?
Where I looked up Anthony Chow IGN
Okay.
because it came up with a Hong Kong actor, and that's not what I wanted.
That's not it.
Oh, Anthony Chow news previews articles 404 page not found. Fuck off.
Oh, he's hiding the evidence.
2K Sports Football speaks with Anthony Chow. Linked LN. Podcast retrospective. NeoGAF. I don't even fucking.
He
Way
only,
back on that one page that 404.
he only worked at IGN for 1 year.
I was talking about news previews articles. Just type in Anthony Chow IGN. Reverb Communications Inc. Previous was Sega. Now he's not. Maybe he got fucking fired or something.
Maybe they found out the Ooga Booga conspiracy. Hang on, Sega made the Dreamcast, so literally, he got out of college in '98, goes to IGN, and works his via means of Ooga Booga, works his way up all the way to the big leagues at Sega.
No, he worked his way through visual production. So maybe what he did, he worked for like a year because it was 2000, 2001, very very short. So wait, when was September 9/11? Yeah, actually, he in IGN editors, there are so many memories. But the more I think about the one that clearly sticks going was when 9/11 occurred. And
Well, yeah, the game came out 2 days after it.
So is it so far to stretch that by then he was going to leave the job, but made a nice Ooga Booga review so that he could get a new job at Visual Corporations or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Then he convinced
works
them
his
to
way
change.
through saying
He can convince them to change their name to 2K Sports so that they wouldn't find. No one would find out apart from us. Oh no! See, we're thinking about it differently. I think he already knew them. I think he already knew people there, and that's why he wrote a good review. Whereas you think he leveraged his good review, which meant he genuinely thought it was good, or at least
it could go either way. It
could go either way.
It might not have genuinely thought it was good. He might have just been doing it for them in order to get to the job.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like some sort of back deal.
Leave your comments below, viewers. What's your opinion on the great...
The Ooga Booga scandal.
This will rock the world. This information is dangerous. You know that meme image where the dude's got like a pinboard and a crazy conspiracy face? I think it's from Always Sunny. It might not be. That's gonna be. We're gonna have that as this as the thumbnail for this episode, but put like Ooga Booga on it.
Episode 6, the Ooga Booga conspiracy.
Yeah,
Make it
I'm
happen.
cool with it. Okay, so after forcing them to change their name to 2K to avoid detection, he gets in. He starts speaking to some people about the Dreamcast at Sega. Maybe he starts by saying, "I loved Ooga Booga so much." And he eventually becomes so big that he gets all the way up to public relations manager at Sega, where he works for 1 year, 4 months before getting busted and having to go completely somewhere else, change fields because he got busted. We need to find, but whoever it did, they clearly signed a non-disclosure agreement, so his secret would remain secret, but not anymore. We've done it.
It's out. It's out. Exposed.
We're on to on.
Yo, I think there's a podcast
What?
of IGN editors.
Oh yeah.
Check this page out. Check it
Yeah,
out.
but it's on NeoGAF. We can't... Oh, no, there isn't.
No. Look it out. Look it up.
Is he on here? He is.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
right. Next, we're going to listen to this. Next episode, we'll come
Crumpet
back.
Casting listens.
I'm sorry, I just don't get it. It makes no sense that he writes a review that good for Ooga Booga without
This is
getting
the-
some kind of
seriously.
kickbacks, right? It doesn't make any
Hour,
sense.
minute long. This is some good
What if it was
The
actually a good
longest
game?
ass-
No, I refuse to believe that's too out there. You're trying to Occam's razor it, but it's not. I'm telling you, the simple solution that it's just a good game is not the real solution.
It looked interesting from what I saw of it a couple days ago.
Yeah, whatever. It's
Nah,
not.
nah, you're an Anthony Chow apologist, man.
Hey, man. No. I'm just saying. You know, it looked interesting. I saw a guy who was flying around on a bird and then like raining like missiles on everyone. It was so cool.
No, not 9.4 good.
Yeah, I was watching Ooga Booga. Some guy flew up into the sky forever and no one could touch him. It was pretty good.
Well, no. There was a
9.4,
timer. There was a timer for it. Like he
Yeah,
has like
there's
a
a-
super ability.
Yeah, it's like his super ability, and then when he comes back down, he uses it again. It's pretty good.
There's like a lot of
But
like
it's always-
stuff. There's a lot of stuff in Ooga Booga. Like when I was watching it, I watched like 10 minutes of it, and the guy kept doing different moves. There's like a ton of moves that the guy had.
Oh wow, they have different moves in Ooga Booga.
Whoa,
Yeah,
9.4.
9.4.
I
More than
implore
one
everyone
move.
who owns a Dreamcast to get this game.
I will admit, it does look kind of fun as a party game.
Yeah.
I
Even-
I don't think it was.
Are you saying you wouldn't want to try something as stupid as that out? Come on, there's always a so bad it's good kind of thing going for it. You never know.
You never know.
even if he genuinely, completely unbiasedly thought it was a good game, it is suspicious still that he went to work for them, like 3 months
Like
after.
this, wait, what year did he work at Visual Concepts?
2001, I think. Like literally, he left IGN to work there.
Anthony Chow, Visual Concepts. This guy's gonna get exposed. Professional profile. Here we go.
He's fucking exposed. I'm telling you.
Wait, this is not the guy. It's
It's this one. Oh.
This has been a long ass fucking podcast.
Yeah,
No,
I'll edit
no,
it down a
it's
bit
fine.
to keep only the good stuff, which is Yu-Gi-Oh! And Ooga Booga Conspiracy.
Only the good stuff.
Ooga
Wait,
Booga.
Podcast is good stuff.
Just take everything out except Ooga Booga. What are you
No.
talking about? Yeah, that's the only good part of the podcast.
Whoa,
Ooga
the
Booga.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the best thing.
Ooga Boogio.
Ooga Booga.
So yeah, he got out of university, then he went to work for IGN. Pretty simple to get into, and then using a bit of manipulation, made some nice reviews for 2K Games, or what was once known as Visual Corporations or whatever it is.
Visual
Goes
concept.
to work for them. Yeah, Visual Concepts, and that goes to work for them. And then after a good 5 years, gets into Sega, and then Sega demotes him probably, and then he leaves.
We've got
There
it
you go.
down. We've worked it out.
That's the story. That's the story. Anthony Chow, you've learned something today. This is
He's still
this is a
alive.
man.
This was a good down episode. Oh yeah, obviously. I was thinking where I've heard of 2K before, but 2K made loads of things. Battleborn,
Yeah, they made. They
Ooga
helped.
Ooga Booga.
Ooga
Yeah.
Booga, which should apparently
Less
be
than
higher up.
likely. Apparently, they helped with Sonic Adventure 2. So yeah.
Apparently, they made
Pretty
the
big.
best game for the Dreamcast to ever be made. It's called Ooga Booga, I think.
Wait, did they make XCOM 2?
Now, the Visual Studios, 2K is a big company that owns a lot of subsidiaries, with one of them being
Yeah, it's
Visual
a parent.
Concepts.
It's a parent. Big Daddy.
And Visual Concepts themselves don't make anything particularly interesting, unless you like NFL.
What do you
or
mean they don't
NBA.
make anything particularly interesting? They made Ooga Booga!
Yeah!
All of a sudden, Crumpet Casting gets a strike on YouTube from Anthony Chow.
2K Sports has the
And now, if you look at his Twitter, he's a bowler. He's living the life after the many years of corruption. He's made it big.
Yeah,
he's got the $100. He's got the Benjamins.
Oh,
Dude, all this was thanks to his Ooga Booga conspiracy.
Maybe we should message him.
No, we can't let him know. We can't let him know the jig's up until we release the episode.
Somebody get an alt and then say, "I like your Ooga Booger."
He deletes his account. He's like, oh man, exposed.
How do we find this information out again? What led us to this?
We were right. So I looked for the IGN review of Ooga Booga. Right. The full story is the Wikipedia page had ridiculously high IGN scores. So I went to look for the real IGN score and found out it was still ridiculously high. So we found the review. We found the review funny. I linked to the review. You look up the dude who made the review. We work out that he went from IGN to the same company in the same year. And then that was it.
All the puzzle pieces
The
fit.
thread started unraveling. The puzzle pieces fit together, yeah.
What if he just became a super fan of the company, like, right after Ooga Booga?
Boy, it's not possible. That is... it just can't happen that way.